and welcome back to another video. I am so glad you're here. My name is Megan and this is Itty Bitty Speech, a place for inspiring and engaging ideas for your itty bitty communicators. Today we're going to talk about my SLP must-haves for therapy, toys, activities, things like that. I swear if you gave me these 5 things, I could do therapy with all of my students for a very long time. So I work with students from preschool through 2nd grade mostly. I have worked with students all the way up to 12th grade, but mostly my strong suit lies in those early elementary level grades. So that's what these things are for. I would say this list is geared towards those lower elementary SLPs, but then again, you do you. I hope this can be a helpful capsule for SLPs in their CF or someone just starting their collection, speechies moving to the early elementary space, or anyone just looking for ideas. You can grab all of these things for under probably $50. A lot of these things probably someone you know already has, and you can take them from their garage or their basement, and they would love to get this junk out of there. Little disclaimer for you, this obviously does not include a computer or a printer. I think most places you will work are going to give you a computer, whether it's a desktop or a laptop, and you're going to have access to a copier. There's tons of free downloads on TPT and on Pinterest that you can find. You do not need to spend a ton of money on TPT downloads your first couple of years, or ever really, to be successful in therapy. Yes, I sell resources for you to use, but don't feel like you need to buy a ton of stuff just to start out. Get to know your caseload, try some different freebies, figure out what sellers you like, what kind of activities you like, and go from there. You don't need to spend a ton of. So without further ado, let's get into my top 5 SLP game material must-haves. Number 1 is bubbles. Oh my goodness, bubbles are liquid gold, I tell you. I have never met a kid who doesn't like bubbles. Well, maybe one, but that's a whole different story. Bubbles are the magic sauce that dreams are made of. Did I say that? Anyway, they are dirt cheap. Like, I bought this pack of 6 for 50 cents at Michael's yesterday, and you just can't beat prices like that. Now, if you really want to splurge, I highly recommend Fubbles brand. You can get them on Amazon. They're the cheapest at Target, and they are no-spill bubble containers, because everyone has had a bubble catastrophe, and these fix that. You only need to buy 1 Fubbles container. You can keep it forever and keep filling it with cheap bubbles, but save yourself some heartache and get some Fubbles brand containers for yourself. They sell them in mini sizes, regular sizes, and giant sizes. I will link my favorite down below. Save yourself some heartache, buy a Fubbles container. Bubbles are literally the perfect speech material. They get any nonverbal kiddo requesting, using a picture, using a device, using their words. They are a fun reward if you need to give a reward after a certain number of speech sound trials or WH questions answered, and they are great for a movement break. Blow some bubbles, kids go wild. They're perfect. Moving on to number 2, stickers. Stickers are another great big bang for your buck resource, but honestly, I don't use them for rewards, although you can. Michael's sells these for 99 cents. If you use your teacher discount, you can get them for 85 cents. If you get them on sale, you can get them even cheaper. Can you tell that I went to Michael's yesterday? And they can be used for everything. Say 10 speech sounds, get a sticker on a piece of paper. Working on spatial concepts, put a sticker on, under, next to, below the tree you just drew on a piece of that printer paper that your school gave you. Working on a describing goal, have a kid tell you the exact sticker that they want without pointing to it. That's great. You can use these as a reward, obviously, unless you're me and one of your closest teacher friends asked you to please stop giving her kids stickers for a reward, because after every session you put one on their head, and her classroom was littered with stickers all over the floor because stickers do not stick to sweaty kid heads. Fun fact. So, may I recommend using a sticker chart if you're going to give kids stickers as a reward. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Get yourself some stickers. Chances are you already have markers, crayons, color pencils, or your parents do in their basement, your aunt does, or your school will provide them, or a lot of teachers that have been working for more than a few years have a giant tub of crayons, markers, and color pencils that they are never going to use all of. So just ask around. Don't go buy a bunch of markers, crayons, colored pencils. And also, if I were to do it again, there would be no markers in my speech room. I would tell my kids I just didn't have any markers because I love crayons so much, and kids for some reason always want to use markers. I don't know why. What you do need to go buy is some dot markers. These are all powerful. They're the queen of the speech room. I don't know why the kids never get used to them. I don't know if anybody else ever uses them, but they go wild when you pull these out. PSA for you, teach your kids how to use these, because if you don't, you're going to end up with giant puddles of paint all over your table and all over your kids. At the beginning of the year, and whenever they need it, we get a piece of blank paper that your school provided for you, and we practice what it means to use one gentle dot. Otherwise, they're going to push and all the paint's going to come out and you're going to have a mess. So we do that at the beginning of the year, and whenever my kids need a little reminder, it's a little thing that'll take you 3 minutes out of a speech session. It's great for following directions, and you won't have to deal with all the messes. Trust me, there's messes. You can use these to make any worksheet more fun, make any coloring sheet go faster because some kids take forever to color, make counting a number of trials more concrete, anything. Like I said, these are queen, dream big. Number 4 on my SLP must-have toys is Play-Doh. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Play-Doh? I've had high schoolers that love to play with Play-Doh. I love to play with Play-Doh. There's just something super soothing about the smell of Play-Doh, the feel of Play-Doh, the smoothness of Play-Doh. It's just a great sensory experience for everyone. It's great for play skills, obviously, but it's also great for our TIC and fluency goals because you can make tongues and mouths and snakes and things like that. So I use this a lot with articulation and fluency kiddos. It's also great for describing. I have my kids create something, anything, and then describe it to the group. And then we have to guess what it is. It's great for describing goals. Also, Play-Doh containers are super hard to open. For some reason in the last year, more kids are coming in knowing how to open them with their teeth. I don't know if there's a YouTube video out there teaching kids how to open Play-Doh with their teeth, but a lot of kids don't know how to open Play-Doh. And it comes in a ton of colors. Hello, requesting goals. Come on. There aren't a lot of toys in my speech room that literally everyone loves, and Play-Doh is one of them. It's great, it's wonderful, even for your kids who are sensory defensive. It's great. Your OTs will love you for continuing to introduce them to new sensory experience. So they're not too expensive. Again, got them at Michael's, use your teacher discount. And last but certainly not least is puzzles, specifically Melissa and Doug chunky puzzles. These things are essentially 2 toys in one. You get a puzzle, obviously, and then the pieces work on their own. They all stand up by themselves, and they're toys as well. So for $7.99 on Amazon for one of these chunky puzzles, you get a lot of bang for your buck. Now, this is another thing. A lot of friends, a lot of family have some chunky puzzles sitting in their basement because everybody has these, that they want to get rid of. Ask around. Now, if you don't have $7.99 to spend on a puzzle, that's fine. I got these for $3 at the Target Dollar Spot, and they're super cute too. Now, you don't just have to use these for lower level kids. I have kids do drill practice and have to fill up their puzzle, and when they fill up their puzzle, they're done. 10 speech sounds per puzzle piece. I hide these pieces around my room, and we have to go find the airplane that's on top of the computer or the fire engine that's under the table. Great for spatial concepts and following directions. I also like to throw all the pieces in a bucket or a bag, have my kids, one of my students, pick one out, and without showing the group, describe what they have. It's a vehicle, it flies, people go in it, and then, bonus, the empty puzzle base serves as some visual choices for the rest of your kids. Built-in scaffolding. I love it. So these are my top 5 toys every SLP needs. They're pretty cheap. You don't need to go spend a ton of money. My first year, I went to every Goodwill I drove by and bought every board game that I possibly could find. And honestly, in 5 years, I've gotten rid of all of the board games that I bought before my CF. I don't use them. I like to use really basic, simple things and pair them with resources to target my kids' goals. So if you're a CF, you should be able to grab these 5 things, like I said, under $50. Ask your mom, ask your grandma, ask your aunt, ask a teacher, a seasoned teacher in your life. I like to buy new things for new SLPs and teachers going into the field because really we should get like a shower, like as if you're having a wedding or a baby, because this stuff isn't cheap. And for you to have to fill up a whole room, I got nothing except for, like I said, a computer and a printer walking into my CF, and this stuff isn't cheap. So $50, someone in your life, if I was in your life, I would love to buy these things for you to make your life a little easier. So put out your list, have your mom send a group text to all of her siblings like mine did, and you're gonna get a ton of stuff. And if that doesn't work, go buy a few of these things. I'll link all the Amazon links down below for all of these things, and you should be able to get them pretty darn cheap. I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know down in the comments what your must-have Speechy toy is. Like, this isn't a lot of toys, but you know what? These are cheap and everybody loves them. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so that we can keep connected and you can see all of the cool new content I'm posting about speech and life as a speech path. Have a great day. Bye.